Egypt has officially stopped using the US dollar in trade. The country, along with Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, joined the BRICS coalition at its 2023 summit. This move is part of a larger trend called de-dollarization, where countries, especially developing ones, are moving away from using the US dollar in trade. So, if you're still thinking that the dollar will remain king forever, you're going to be disappointed. De-dollarization is happening, and it is happening at an unprecedented rate. More and more countries, especially developing countries, are calling for de-dollarization, which is to move away from using the US dollar in trade for settlement. Egypt is ditching the US dollar. The BRICS alliance expanded for the first time since 2001, and with the addition of these 5 new members, its geopolitical influence has grown. Egypt has already expressed its intention to shift away from the US dollar in trade. According to the Egyptian news portal, Ahram Online, Egypt plans to encourage trade in national currencies within BRICS to reduce costs associated with using foreign currencies due to global inflation. The Egyptian Foreign Ministry emphasized its commitment to using local currencies in trade transactions to ease financial pressure linked to the dollar. BRICS countries are actively working to increase trade in local currencies to avoid fluctuations in the dollar exchange rate. Last August, Brazil's president also suggested creating a common currency for BRICS trade and investment. Egypt has strong trade relations with BRICS countries, including Russia, India, China, and Brazil. Official data from 2022 and 2023 reveals that Egypt's trade exchange with BRICS members, both founding and new, totals $46.67 billion, more than one-third of the country's total external trade. In response to global uncertainties and the potential weaponization of the US dollar through sanctions, Egypt is taking steps to reduce its dependence on the dollar. Last year, Egypt announced plans to develop a new currency indicator, diversifying from pegging the Egyptian pound solely to the US dollar. The indicator, based on a basket of currencies and possibly gold, aims to provide stability. The Egyptian pound had been fixed against the dollar for 18 months before the Ukraine crisis triggered a devaluation. As you may be aware, the Ukraine and Russia crisis, along with the United States imposing sanctions on Russia, has created a ripple effect globally. Many countries are now hesitant to depend on the US dollar, as it can be wielded as a tool for sanctions by the US. Moreover, the recent increase in US interest rates is causing many countries to incur higher expenses when exchanging their currencies for US dollars to facilitate cross-border trades. This situation arises because the US dollar currently holds the position of the primary global trade currency. As the US continues to raise interest rates, nations worldwide find themselves having to pay more to acquire US dollars for international transactions. ASEAN wants to ditch US dollar too. Besides Egypt, emerging economies like the 10 nations in the ASEAN are exploring the idea of excluding the US dollar, euro, yen, and British pound from financial transactions. Instead, they are considering transitioning to settlements in their respective local currencies. The ASEAN member countries consist of Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. According to IMF data, the combined nominal GDP of the ASEAN bloc in 2023 is approximately $3.9 trillion. During the 42nd ASEAN Summit in Labuan Bajo, Indonesia, member nations signed an agreement aiming to enhance regional payment connectivity and promote transactions in local currencies. This strategic move reflects the bloc's intent to shift away from established currencies, particularly the US dollar, commonly used in international trade. As part of this initiative to improve regional payment systems, ASEAN has introduced the Universal Quick Response, or QR code. Central banks in the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand have implemented contactless QR code payment systems for goods and services traded among the member countries. This step promotes greater financial inclusion for consumers and businesses within the region. Furthermore, this shift means that a transaction in Thailand using an Indonesian app, for example, would be settled directly between the Indonesian rupiah and the Thai baht, bypassing the need for the US dollar as an intermediary. Once these connection linkages are established, the central banks aim to expand their network to connect with other clusters around the world. Shifting towards a multipolar world. The US dollar has long held supremacy in global trade, attributed not only to the US being the largest economy, but also because commodities, including oil, are predominantly priced in US dollars. However, the Federal Reserve's aggressive strategy of raising interest rates has compelled central banks in developing nations to follow suit to prevent sharp declines in their currencies. To clarify, the US dollar still dominates global foreign exchange reserves, making up approximately 58% in the fourth quarter of 2022. The euro holds the second position, accounting for 20% of these reserves. The trade tensions with China, restricting the trade of Asian assets in the American market, and the seizure of around $300 billion in Russian foreign exchange reserves served as a wake-up call for the world. Nations recognize the unpredictability of their national interests, conflicting with the superpower, prompting proactive steps to diversify holdings away from Western currencies and credit systems. Around the globe, an increasing number of bilateral currency settlement agreements are being established. The process of de-dollarization appears inevitable, and the only uncertainty lies in how long it will take within the context of the global historical process. If you like this video, hit the like button to show your support. More importantly, subscribe to our channel so that you will continue to receive more interesting videos just like this one.